music themed. So you know, you gotta do what you love. You gotta work on what you love too.
I totally agree. I could just see my 6-year-old running in there and wreaking absolute havoc, but being really excited.
I'm 29 and I do that. Like,
you're like, oh hell no, honey. There are way too many things to break there. Hawk, I have to ask, A, am I pronouncing your name right? And 2, what are the names of your kitties back there?
Oh, yes, you are pronouncing it right. And that is Juno in the window. And we have Lucy. She likes to hide. And we actually have Gemini that we just actually had to take to the vet this morning because she dislocated her toe. But, yeah, they thought they were going to have to amputate it. But I guess she somehow last night or the night before popped it back into place somehow. And they were like, okay, well, I guess you don't have to spend $1,000 on surgery. So,
oh my God.
Shout out to the vets.
She redeemed herself.
He's the wild
like,
child.
Just kidding.
So. Thank
It
God.
was like, not me.
Oh, man.
I'm not going to be the one without a toe. I'll never
right?
hear the end of it.
I'll never make it in this group. They'll never let me down, live it down.
Yeah, they like to hang out in the windows.
I just locked my door, so my dog.
Which they'd only last about 10 minutes probably out there.
I definitely locked my door to A, keep out my child, and B, keep out my 2 dogs who've learned how to open the door and jump into Zoom calls. It's their new favorite thing. I have one Sunny who literally, she's a golden retriever. She's not small, and she like catapults herself into my lap when I'm in the middle of meetings. So I was like, yeah, we're going to put a gate up and I'm going to lock the door and I'm going to put everyone on high alert. Thanks. That'd be great.
Like, screw work, Mom. Pay attention to me.
Yeah, 100%. The dogs are worse than the child. They're toddlers.
But also better.
They are the children.
I mean, you can leave them at home in a cage and nobody judges you. So.
Yeah, right.
All right, guys, I think we can get started if you guys are all ready. So my name's Alyssa. I know a lot of you already. I know a lot of you already know that, but if you're new to Four Geeks and new to our events, nice to meet you. I'm the campus manager for Four Geeks Miami, and thank you for coming tonight to our Geek Talk. We are celebrating cohorts 37 and Miami-Dade College, who are both finishing their classes and graduating tonight. I see plenty of faces here from the Four Geeks community. I also see some names that I don't know, so that's great too, and welcome. I also see our speakers here for tonight, which we are excited to welcome them. So I'm going to start with a brief presentation about Four Geeks Academy, who we are, what we do, introduce our speakers to you, and then I will be passing it over to our speakers and ultimately our presenters for tonight. So let me share my screen here. And we will get started. Geek Talk, Cohort 37 at Miami-Dade College. So who is Four Geeks? A little bit about us. Four Geeks is a coding bootcamp. We train in full stack software development and artificial intelligence and machine learning. We have 10 locations across countries. So we have presence in North, Central, and South America, as well as Europe. Now we have above 2,500 graduates. About 85% of our graduates are finding a job related to the field within 90 days after graduation. We have partners already established with major industry players, and we have been rated by different various platforms as one of the top coding bootcamps in the world. To expand a little bit on that, we were named Best Coding Bootcamp in 2021 by Premios Excelencia Educativa. That's always a fun one for me to say. We were rated among the top 30 worldwide bootcamps by SwitchUp. We have a 4.9 average rating across all platforms. and we are licensed by the U.S. Department of Education. So at Four Geeks, our real mission is to reduce the unemployment rate and provide accessibility to education. So we achieve that through two of our main student platforms called GeekPal and Geek Force, which we're going to go over next. But just a little bit further into what we were talking about before, about, as I mentioned before, about 86% of those students are getting hired within 90 days after graduation, and they're seeing an average salary increase of 22% after completing the program. So we think that that success is due to those two platforms, GeekPal and Geek Force. So GeekPal is the mentorships that we offer to our students, but it is much more than that. So through GeekPal, students have unlimited access to us and to our community for the rest of their lives. So graduating from Four Geeks doesn't mean that you leave us. You have unlimited access to our mentorships, to our events, to our career support, to our Slack community, everything related to us. You guys are still going to be a part of that forever. While you are taking the course is when our students do use our mentorships more heavily, because that is when they are learning the most new information, of course. So there's three main ways that our students get mentoring support. The first is going to be via Slack. We have about 2,500 plus people in our Slack channel, developers helping developers. We have different support channels that they can post in, and then also via one-on-one mentoring and group mentoring or global mentoring sessions, which we host on weeknights. Geek Force is our other platform that I mentioned. This is our career support track. This is led by Adele Zapata, who is our main career support coordinator. And her job is to help our students get jobs. So she helps with resume building, interview preparation, GitHub, GitPod, LinkedIn, everything that they need to be ready to apply for jobs, follow up for jobs, interview for jobs, everything up until the day they're placed, really. So now that our graduates tonight are finishing what we like to jokingly call the first boot camp, they're going to start their second boot camp, which is their Geek Force boot camp. So it's a very intensive time when they're meeting a lot with our career support representatives, applying, interviewing, and hopefully landing that job within that 90-day period. But that's what's coming up next. And just to know that Four Geeks provides that support for all of our graduates. Here are some companies that our graduates are currently working at. You can see some of the bigger ones towards the top: Ultimate Software, Twilio, Facebook, National Geographic, Uber, eBay, Microsoft. And then as you go down, you can see more mid-sized to even smaller startup companies where our graduates have been placed. Here are a variety of different partners that we work with. These could be educational partners, financing partners, hiring partners, communities here in South Florida, but just a variety of different organizations that Four Geeks is affiliated with. And then to introduce our guest speakers that we have here tonight, we have two speakers from Talon Inc. We have Madeline and Amanda. And then we also have Hernan, who is a full stack developer and Four Geeks alumni. And then tonight's roster, we have 7 projects presenting tonight. We have Recommender, Relocation Station, Real Reviews, a lot of our name projects, About Pause, 5-Star Dating, iCode, and finally Tabletop Tile Sets. So thank you for listening to my presentation. I would like to turn the floor over to our two speakers. We can start with Talon Inc. So either Amanda or Madeline, however you would like to present your part, feel free to take it away.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Alyssa. I will share my screen now. And we'll get started. Let me just first close some tabs and then I'm going to
I think anybody who works in startup world or remotely finds themselves with 7 windows and 30 tabs. And
yeah. All right. So can you all see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So thanks everyone for having us. Amanda and I are really excited to talk about Talon Inc. and Career IO, and we're really think that there's a lot of synergy between what Four Geeks Academy is trying to do and what we are trying to achieve at Talent. So without further ado, I'll just get right into it. Hi, my name is Madeline Ingo. I am the head of product at Career.io. Been with the company since April of 2021, and prior to that, I led product teams in various different tech startups, ranging from data to retail to marketing tech. And actually, before tech, I ran product teams at major fashion retailers. So my trajectory, while it's not like unheard of, it's also not the most common, right? And I know that there are many others out there who are looking to explore new careers and might not be so sure how to do that. So I was really excited to work with our amazing team to build Career.io and bring it to life. It's truly a special product and can't wait to share more about that. But before we get into that, I'll pass it over to Amanda to tell you about herself as well as talents.
Hi, everyone. As Maddie mentioned, my name is Amanda Augustine. The initials after my name. I'm a certified professional career coach and a certified professional resume writer. And I've been working in that space for over 15 years. I started in startup land doing every role imaginable at theladders.com, which is based out of New York. They're now just called Ladders. And after running my own career coaching shop, I joined the Talon Inc. Organization almost 70 years ago. Maddie, you want to hit the next screen? Okay, this is just a quick look at the agenda and we can pass that and move on. All right, so what in the world is Talon Inc? Really, it's a collection of brands that are all working toward one goal, and that is to become the leading digital resource and trusted advisor to all career-driven professionals. So Career.io is one of our very new and exciting products that we're currently launching, but we also have this collection of other brands underneath that's this really nice combination of both tools as well as human-powered services, and they all have really one goal in mind. If you could hit the next screen. It's really to help everyone with every piece of the career life cycle. So we initially started out really focusing on the services and the human-powered service end of the business that was just about an active job seeker. How do we write your resume, cover letter, LinkedIn profile, interview prep, job applications, all that kind of fun stuff. And in the past 18 to 24 months, we've really expanded that through both acquisitions as well as new product development to really build a really cool suite of tools, resources, as well as services that are all geared towards helping people figure out where do you want to go with your career, what do you want to do, and how in the world can you get there, and then arm you with the tools to reach your full potential. So in other words, if you click the next screen, it's really to help you make very smart decisions about your career. I think there's so much guesswork out there. You're just kind of feeling things out. And when you're first starting your career, you should explore. You got to figure out, do I like big companies or little companies? Do I want to be remote or do I want to be in an office? What's the vibe I'm looking for? What's the culture? What are the projects that I really like to sink my teeth into? And I think it's really important to do that exploration, but there's also a part of it where it's how can you be strategic about what you do so that you're upskilling where necessary. So you're negotiating for a higher salary once you know the data. And that's really what we're here to do, is help, regardless of what your goal is, whether you're in active job seeker mode or you just want to manage up your career, we're arming you so you can make really smart decisions and reach your full potential. That's my 30-second pitch, getting off my soapbox and handing it over to Maddie.
Thanks, Amanda. So awesome. As Amanda mentioned, the Talents Inc. parents' mission is pretty grand, right? So what is Career.io's part of this? So Career.io's mission is we aspire to be the advisor, advocate, and keeper of your personal career journey. So a lot of words. So what does this actually mean? So we are building the first full stack career management platform for the workforce individuals. So as Amanda mentioned, irrespective of where you are in your career, if you're a new grad, if you are still you're not necessarily new, you're 2 to 3 years out, but you're still trying to figure it out. Or even if you're a seasoned executive trying to see, okay, what's next for me? we believe that we have a set of tools and services that can help you take that next step. And we want to make sure that our product is easy to use, affordable, very comprehensive, right? All-in-one platform, and very inviting. And in order for us to build this, we want to make sure that whatever tools or services we bring to market fulfill one of these 4 value props. So we will either help you land your desired job, excel in the role that you have, connect with others, or stay competitive in the marketplace, right? By building a set of tools and services that fulfill one or more of these value props, we believe that we cover the full career life cycle for you, right? So from 18 to 65 or whatever that aspirational retirement age is, we think that we can help you along the way. And we want to make sure that this is a product that people truly love, right? You know, managing your career or finding a job, this isn't a new experience. So how do we take something that is kind of a tried and true experience, but make it engaging, right? Like bring it into the 21st century. And we will do that by ensuring that the products we build fulfill these pillars. So we want to make sure that it's mobile first, multi-platform. Wherever you are, you can pick up where you left off on your tablet, on your phone. You don't have to be tied to your desktop and the and a keyboard, right? Like this is again 21st century. We should be able to manage our career on the go. We want to make sure that this is fun and fresh. A lot of the existing services out there have a bit more of like the 1998 accounting software feel. That's not what we're going for. We want to make sure that this is some modern technology that you're using and you do feel like it's modern to you. We want to be the trusted advocate. It's really easy to kind of get advice or feel like, oh, maybe I'm being led astray. We want to make sure that we assuage any concerns there. We want to make sure that the experience is personalized for you. Not everyone has the same job trajectory, right? My head of products path is not similar to someone else's, and we know that yours might not be similar to anyone else's either. So we want to make sure that it's tailored towards your goals and your success. We want to make sure that it's sticky and bookmark worthy. We don't want to make the features feel like more chores that you have to do, right? We want to make them fun, fresh, engaging so that you actually return to it. And then for our users, we know that you already have a lot to worry about. So why do you have to worry more about like, okay, pricing and paying for this? We want to make sure that that's simple and easy, right? Reduce that friction in transacting so that you are really focused on just getting the most out of the platform. So there's the old adage, right? Pictures worth 1,000 words. You just heard a lot of words. They were accompanied by some very nice pictures, I think. But of course, a demo is worth 1,000 of these Google Slides. So I'm just going to switch now to Career IO and just give you all a sneak peek. All right, and everyone see my screen again?
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
awesome. Thank you. So this is the Career IO homepage. We just launched V1 in July. And on the homepage, you'll see that we also have the 4 value props that I mentioned, along with the features that we associate with each value prop, right? So what are the set of tools and services that will help you land your desired job? What are the set of tools and services that will help you excel in your career? So on and so forth. For V1, it truly is focused on this land your desired job value prop. And over the next few months, and of course, the next 1 to 2 years, we will be expanding our set of offerings to fulfill the other value props and then cover that whole career life cycle. So we also have a bunch of great resources. I'll just jump into our resource library. This is a great mix of free and premium content. It's a lot of fabulous blog posts written by our in-house content writers who are experts in just anything related to the job search or managing your career. And in the future, in the very near future, we will also have some premium content formats such as videos, podcasts, webinars. So definitely keep an eye out for those. I think you'll find them really informative, very engaging. So let's get actually to Career I/O itself. So I'm just going to click on my dashboard. And we're brought to the Career I/O platform. So within Career I/O, if I go into the navigation, you can see some of the features that we have and some of the features that we are going to bring to you soon. Again, this is geared towards the land your desired job value prop. And in the future, you'll see a lot more tools and services about how you can develop further, maybe moving from an IC role into a management role, maybe additional courses that you can take to fill some of the skill gaps that you might have. All of that will be there as well. But for now, what our users will be able to do is they will be able to create some resumes, some cover letters using a pretty great resume builder, which I'll go to in a second. Take some mock interviews. We actually created a bunch of mock interviews by sourcing the most commonly asked questions during interviews. And they're actually also segmented by company. And the team did a great job building or simulating a close to real life interview experience by having a deep fake avatar actually ask you some of these questions. And then after you answer your questions, you will be graded on your tone of voice, whether or not you've mentioned or expressed your skills in a way that resonates with the interviewer or matches with the job description for which you are applying, and overall provide you with some tips on how you could really nail that interview. Very soon, in the next few months, you'll also be able to search for jobs just directly from the platform, as well as have jobs that you are best suited for recommended to you. So what we do there is we actually look at these skills that you have on your resume, as well as so your hard skills, your certifications, as well as your past experience, compare that to job descriptions and what they're looking for, and then just see if there is a strong match. If there is, then we will reach out to you and say, hey, for this job, it looks like you're a pretty strong match. And if you were to apply, there's a high likelihood that you'll be asked for an interview. And then once you actually nail that interview and you get that offer, we actually have a salary analyzer where you can provide information about the offer that you are getting. And then we'll give you some feedback on whether or not you have some room to negotiate and what that room might be. And so you can imagine that a prospective employer, if you're trying to ask for maybe a salary that is a bit higher than what they're offering, this information will just be very valuable and will help you make a much stronger case. And then in the future, if you are, like me in the past, considering different career paths where your trajectory might not be as linear as other people's, our career path tool will allow for you to identify what are the opportunities that are available to you based on what you're looking for and based on your skill sets. And it might uncover some uncommon transitions that perhaps you didn't think you were qualified for, but actually based on your experience and based on what you already know, you might be a better fit than you think. So there's a lot that will be in here. It's really exciting. Just to bring this to life a little bit more, I'll go into our resume builder products, show you how easy it is just to create a new resume. So if you create a resume, you can just type in your wanted job title. So let's just say I want to be a product manager. My first name, last name, email, it's already there. Type in my phone number, country, so United States. City, Brooklyn. And then And then it takes you through each part of your resume. So professional summary, right? 2 to 4 sentences, short, energetic, just tell me about you. But what if you have writer's block? Or what if you're just like, just can't think of anything? We have some pre-written phrases that are actually pulled from some product management resumes that we have. And you'll read through some of these and just select the ones that you think are most apt for you. And I'm not saying, just select it and then it's one and done, but it's a great way to just get some starter soup because I personally know how hard it is to just write something from a blank page. This really does just give you that extra kick, right? Just start those creative juices flowing so that you can revise this and really make it sing for you. Adding employment history is made pretty easy. So talents, I'll just go type in some stuff. I won't type in all of this, but again, we have some pre-written phrases here. So you can just go through, see which ones make the most sense to you and add them in. Because I wrote talent, it's assuming that I have a HR background. So you just have to make this, it's because I put talent in the job title, huh? So that's user error. So let's just actually put in product manager here. And then pre-written phrases for product manager. Yep, exactly. Just type in or select whatever you think is most relevant for you. Really just great, especially if you're having trouble articulating what you do. And then just putting in your education, and you can just select very easily what skills you have. And then for a given skill, you're actually also able to just select what level of expertise you have in here as well. So let's just say that I'm experienced here. And yeah, if there are any other sections, if you really want to make this resume very rich, you can add in some custom section or just hobbies, references, courses, etc. And then once all of the information is here, it's really easy for you to select any different templates and help tailor it towards the different types of roles that you're going for. So in product management, especially now that technology and product management is becoming a bigger role in a lot of more legacy industries, right? I could be applying for a product management in tech, of course, but I could also be applying for product management at a financial services firm, right? So tech or a digital design agency. So for a digital design agency, maybe I want the more colorful, more eye-catching type of resume, and all of the information that I put in there just automatically formats for me. Or, as I mentioned before, if I'm trying to go for a more serious industry, I can select for a more serious looking kind of resume template. And it just really makes it easy for you to tailor and custom your resume for a given job, which is more important than ever because, with the influx of resumes that are out there, the more that you can give yourself an edge and really personalize and tailor your application to what the firm or what the job is looking for, the better chance that you have for getting that role. And again, these are just all features that are centered around the land your desired job value prop. And it's just the beginning, right? In the next few months, we'll be adding more features, and it will be a wonderfully robust offering that will really help you wherever you are in your career journey. So with that said, I will actually pause here and hand it back to Amanda. Take us through some trends. Actually, Amanda, should I pull up the slides again?
Yeah, if you could pull up the slides.
Yep.
I'll speed talk, guys, I promise. And then, Alyssa, I can also hand you some links and information on Monday that you can distribute if you want. So you can just pull that sucker up for me.
Yep.
So I tried to pick some of the ones that I think are most relevant, and then a few that are, hey, they're tried and true, they haven't changed, but they're really important to note if you're going into the job search. This is where I play. I'm a certified, I love that this is Four Geeks. I always called myself a certified job search geek. I've been in the industry for longer than I care to admit. And so some of the things I want to bang out. Okay, so One, no surprise to anybody, the prevalence of remote work and hybrid schedules that are available. So the one thing I want to point out here, and Maddie, if you could just hit the next screen, is that if this is something you're interested in, if you want a fully remote role or one where it's going to be a hybrid schedule, you want to make sure that you're demonstrating that as you're putting your resume together. So for instance, in your professional summary section, add a little thing that says willing to work 100%, 50%, 75% remotely. It's just like the people who used to say they're willing to travel X% for a sales job. In your education, a course like this, if you've been doing this remote, put remote next to it, because you just want to show different pieces of your resume that say, I've been working remotely, I've been studying remotely, this is not new to me, I'm set up to do this, and so yes, this would be a great opportunity for me. In terms of your work experience, you can put next to your title in parentheses remote, or for location, you could also put remote or working from home or multiple cities. But again, it's demonstrating that you haven't necessarily been working out of a corporate office. And the same thing with responsibilities and contributions. So if you have something to put on your resume where you're very excited about this project you've been working on, same thing with the projects that you're putting together with Four Geeks. If those have been remote, you want to make sure you're emphasizing that. And in your cover letter, just making sure you're adding one little note somewhere in there that says that you have a dedicated workspace and high-speed internet, so they know that you are set to work remotely if that's what the job requires. Moving on. COVID vaccination status. A study came out not long ago that said 1 in 3 employers was not looking at resumes if they didn't state their status. This is definitely a personal choice, and I totally get it. I'm not forcing you to do one thing or another, but if you are vaccinated and you are comfortable sharing that information, I suggest adding it to your professional summary. Maddie, if you could just go to the next slide. It's a little line you just put on the end that just says fully vaccinated against COVID-19. And if that's something you're not down with and it's not what you believe in, then, roles that are 100% remote, there's a really good chance they don't care. And that makes it a lot easier. And they're probably not in that 1 in 3 that's ignoring applications that don't state their vaccination status. I will say this is directly in the US, just a heads up if anybody's in other countries. This was a US study. Moving on. Okay, so the growing importance of certain soft skills. I know a question came up when, what's most important? Is it my tech skills? Is it my soft skills? And the answer is yes, it's both. I mean, they want you to have the skills to do the job, but they also want the soft skills to make sure you play nice with others and that you're going to fit into their culture. And so if you click to the next slide, Matt, we did a study with Top Resume, which is one of Talon Inc's brands, where we asked employers what skills have taken on greater importance in the last couple of years, thanks to more people going remote. And these were by far the top 5 that they cared most about. Not a shocker. Are you adaptable? Are you flexible? Can you change on the fly? Can you communicate? And I would take that to another level and say, how do you communicate effectively over digital communication lines as opposed to just face-to-face? The critical thinking and problem solving, I always think everyone wants somebody who's a creative problem solver, regardless of what you're doing. The collaboration and teamwork, and I think this is also an emphasis on what tools you're utilizing in order to stay in contact with your team. How are you collaborating when you can't stand in a room and use a whiteboard together? What are you doing differently in order to still accomplish your goals? And of course, time management, which I think is anything that has to do with potentially working remotely. So what do you do with these? Obviously, just smacking these on your resume does jack. You can say you're anything, but if you don't prove you have the skill, it doesn't really matter. So what I would recommend doing is any jobs, side projects, freelance work you've been doing, even the projects you've been doing at the Four Geeks Academy, think about, where have I leveraged these skills in order to come up with an outcome? And how can I describe that in a bullet point on my resume so that I'm demonstrating that I have these skill sets? When I'm interviewing with someone, I should keep these in the back of my head. So when they are asking me about, how did you tackle this problem? How would you solve this answer? What was the favorite project you worked on, and walk me through it? You're also thinking about how you would incorporate some examples into your response that also demonstrate that you have some of these soft skills. Does that make sense? I know I'm flying, but I also know we're short on time. Click to the next one, please. Thank you. So the value of the post-interview follow-up. I always like to stress this because we did do a study on this, and even studies before pre-pandemic, 5+ years ago, if we asked employers, does the follow-up matter? The majority said yes. But what I think is interesting, if we've asked them in the last year or so, has it taken on a greater importance in recent years? And Madeline, if you could just click to the next one. The answer is yes, it has. And I think that's a lot. We're finding that, as well as the cover letter, which was always kind of a 50-50 shot if anyone was going to read your cover letter. They also said that, yeah, I'm more likely to read cover letters now than before. And our hypothesis for that was they're looking for opportunities to connect and get a better sense of who you are, because more often than not, interviews are taking place solely in a digital environment. They don't get to sit in a room and size you up and walk you around as frequently as they did in the past. And so they're looking for any other connection point to get a better handle on who you are as an individual. So think of those communication opportunities as opportunities to demonstrate your skills, but really also your personality. Employers have also said, we wish we could see more of their personality before we got them in the interview room. And so think about how you're writing a cover letter so you can demonstrate a little bit more of that. Moving on to the next one. Now, this one I'm always going to harp on because I'm a certified professional resume writer and I've been writing resumes for too many years. But I think it's really important to keep in mind that there are a couple key gatekeepers that your initial application is typically trying to get past. That's the applicant tracking system, which is also known as the ATS, the hiring bots, the robots, the devil, whatever you want to call it. It's the thing when you apply and you never hear back and you're saying, what the heck happened? It's probably because your resume was not formatted, designed, or optimized for this electronic gatekeeper. In fact, 75% of online applications are never seen by a human being because they don't necessarily score high enough when going through the ATS. Approximately 99% of all Fortune 500 companies use an ATS, and 75% of general recruiters use some form of an ATS. So it is something to keep in mind. If you could click to the next slide, please. That's only your first gatekeeper. The second gatekeeper is obviously a human being. The technology doesn't reject your application. It scans it, parses the information, and it gives that candidate a score. And wouldn't you know, recruiters tend to only look at the scores that are in the top 25%. So here are also some things to keep in mind. This we learned through a a study we did that we then turned into a white paper on what are some of the key elements of a really successful resume. It has a clear career narrative. Think that professional summary is the amuse-bouche. It's what's going to whet their appetite and get them interested in the rest of the document. And it's also a very high-level summary of what you have to offer to an employer. So always keep in mind that your resume is a marketing tool. It is not a transcript, but it is a carefully curated marketing tool, and you want to treat it as such. So think of that summary as, how do I sum up all the stuff that an employer cares about? It's not about my dreams and hopes and desires. It's about what I have to offer to a prospective employer based on the type of employer and the type of role that I care about and I want to apply for. When I say aim for white space, you'll notice that a lot of the templates, and if you decide to work with, through Top Resume, which is part of the career.io, network, with a resume writer, you're always going to find that we always say that content is king, but the design is queen when it comes to looking at a document. And so there is something to be said for making sure there's enough white space, that you're using bolding and bullet points strategically to draw the reader's eye to the most important information. You never want an endless list of bullet points, and you never want really dense blocks of text, because both make somebody's eyes just glaze over it. So always keep that in mind. You want to draw their eye to the most important information. You want to demonstrate your value. And even if you have no experience, it's talking about what you've done in your education. It's talking about what internships or co-ops or projects you worked on while you were in school. Think about it. If you say, I'm great at coding, cool. Now, how do you prove that? What can you share? What can you send them to? What can you put in that resume that demonstrates you have the skills or that you say you have? So I always say show, don't tell. Yeah, sure. Say you're great at product management, but then I want to see a bullet point somewhere else on that resume that backs that claim up with some piece of evidence or a case study. And quantify your information whenever possible, whether it's bringing a project in on time, ahead of schedule, under budget, at budget. You're always trying to quantify your work or think of how am I doing things to make things run more smoothly or efficiently or effectively. And then customizing each application, I can't emphasize this enough. Reread that job listing. What is that job listing saying is most important? And you want to make sure that's emphasized. In fact, you want to look at how that wording is in that job description and mimic that same wording in the spots where it's relevant. That is also going to get you past that electronic gatekeeper. And one last one. And I'm always going to reinforce this, and I'm so great to hear about the Geek Pal community and the Slack community. I jotted that down because networking is so key. You are 10 times more likely to land a job when your application is accompanied by a referral. And there's an organization called Alumni Fire that found that 90% of hiring managers would prefer to hire a fellow alum if given the opportunity. So this is such a powerful network. Not only are you getting the tools to do the job that you want to do, but you are a part of a large network that is truly going to help you land roles. So always keep that in mind and speak to those people, engage in that network, invest in that network. If you hit the last slide for me. If you hate networking and the idea of going to a group event makes you want to throw up, here are some alternative networking tools that you can look into. And they're all different ways where some of them have an in-person piece to them. A lot of them are fully digital, and they are different ways to meet up with like-minded individuals, thought leaders in the areas that you care about that can help you. Upstream has these really cool office hours with people in your field. Lunch Club uses AI technology to match you with people who have like-minded goals and match you up. And then Clubhouse is basically an audio app where you can participate in discussions on a regular basis. So find the ones that are related to the work that really excite you and check that out. And next. Any questions? It's a whole lot of information. I will happily send Alyssa some links and that sort of thing on Monday that for anybody who wants more information on a particular piece, I'm happy to do that. But otherwise, congratulations on your graduation.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Good information.
Absolutely.
My pleasure. It was the speed version. Succinct is not my thing.
So
Yeah,
modest.
that was all very good information. Thank you. Do any students have any questions for Career.io, Talon Inc?
I'm sure I will.
Yeah, I think you guys addressed everything. Sorry, Frank, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I'm sure I will in the near future. I think everything's spinning right now with the final project,
But yeah, if you guys do want to pass me over your information so they can connect with you on LinkedIn, and if they want to follow up with you with questions after when their heads are not spinning, like Frank said, that would be great. But thank you guys very much for coming. Thank you for taking the time to do that presentation. I'm sure that they found a lot of value in that information, so thank you. I'm going to turn it over to the second speaker, who is Hernan, who is Four Geeks alumni and is now a full stack developer at Celerity. So I'll let him share his expertise after boot camp experience with you guys.
my boy.
Hello. It's good. The audio is good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was having problems earlier with the audio. So thank you, Alyssa. As she said, I am, as you can see, I used to be a Four Geeks Academy student, graduated 3 years ago. And so right now I'm a full stack developer doing React for the front end, Python for the back end, just like you guys. And this company called Celerity. Celerity, they do consulting and services for other companies. So what they do is they outsource a lot of their developers, and that gave me the chance to work with National Geographic. And right now I'm working with a medical company, dealing with a bunch of data from clients. We got like million rows of data in the database. And for the first time for me, you know, we're timing our functions just to make sure that whatever the processes that we're doing, that it can process a bunch of data really quickly. So yeah, so like I said, I graduated 3 years ago. I took it was a full-time cohort. I was there 8 hours for 2 months every day. And so that kind of helped me to get into the mindset of programming, in the sense that, you know, I had never done this before. I took a bunch of programming classes in college, but other than that, so it really helped me to get into the mindset of being in front of the computer and being programming for that many hours, right? And I strongly suggest that something that you can do that will definitely help you on that is to spend a lot of time programming or figuring out code, looking at code. You know, everything you're doing in the class is very helpful. But now you're graduating, so the important thing is to continue with that. Just like Alyssa had mentioned before, I think it's called Geek Force, and it's almost like another boot camp. You have to go hard on that, and you know, just hammer it in until you get a job, right? So in my experience, what I did, when I got out of Four Geeks, I was getting along great with everybody in the team. So I became an assistant. Then I also, I was joining any other events that they had on the weekends, anything related to coding, I was trying to be involved in. I did apply to a few, you know, probably like 60 or 100 different companies. I didn't get much of a response, and I got a little bit let down. So I said, well, anyways, I am doing this. I had my hands full in coding, so I just stuck with that at the moment. And I also got my hands on doing a phone application. Somebody hooked that up as well. So, and I was the only backend developer for that. That was all Flask, Python, right? So anyways, a year went by, right? And don't take a year as a measuring stick for you guys, but that's when I got the job in an actual company. A year went by, and after all the, you know, little gigs I was doing, little freelancing, teaching, I also taught in Miami-Dade College, thanks to Four Geeks. And thanks to all that, I guess I built up a pretty strong resume. And then once I opened up my LinkedIn and started applying, within a month, I got a job. That was pretty quick, but that was also because I had been involved in that, right? And again, it could take less. I had friends that got jobs with less time, knowing nothing about coding. They learned everything at Four Geeks, and then they got a job within, you know, like 3-4 months, right? But again, if that time passes and you still don't have a job, super important, you know, don't give up, stay in it. It could take maybe more than a year, maybe 2 years, but as long as you stay in it, honestly, you will definitely get something. Celerity, what I'm doing right now, one of the things that you're gonna notice as soon as you get hired by a company is maybe right now you're, you know, doing your projects by yourself, or even the final project you're doing with a couple of other people. So the code that you're looking at, you know, is relatively small, but when you do get hired, you're gonna come into an already established application. There's gonna be tons of, and it's gonna be written by different developers, different times as well. You know, in National Geographic, we had very old code as well that we had to keep updating. Same thing here. So, you know, it's, and the job is the same thing that you're doing there. You know, it's just going over the code, understanding it, right? The first tasks that you're gonna get asked to do are probably gonna be simple tasks like fixing some issues, right? Or adding some items in the screen, you know, little things. So you're gonna have to go into a code base that's already established, right? Understand the code and just do your thing there, right? And even for, let's say, React, even though you're learning React, I know React, but then different developers, they'll write react slightly different, right? And so sometimes you might look at it, it's the same thing you were looking at, but someone wrote it in a different way. So it's just, it's just getting used to all that. But honestly, companies are not expecting you to be to know everything. Okay, there's so much information out there. I mean, all of us, anybody. I work with developers that have been in the job for 15, 20 years, and they're consistently Googling things, looking up things. So definitely don't take as a measuring stick the fact that you may not know some stuff, right? You just need to know enough to be able to talk with a manager or a recruiter for the interview. And once you get the job, and you'll learn in the job, right? You will learn there. They will teach you anything you need to know there. So one of the things that I learned while I was teaching and dealing with the students at the academy and students in Miami-Dade College, friends of mine that I was helping out, is that again, whenever someone doesn't make it in programming, it's 9 out of 10 times is because they just stopped. They quit. Maybe they said they were in it, they gave it their all, they didn't get anything, and they stopped, right? But honestly, the demand that is out there for developers is insane. And my message to you is, if you just don't stop, if you just keep doing it, for sure that eventually you're going to land something. There's no doubt about it. I mean, so I'm going to share something and I'll show you some of the stuff that I did and some of the requests that I have for jobs. And
Oh yeah.
so this is one of the stuff that I did. I decided once I graduated, I said, all right, I'm going to be coding and going super strong on the profiles, because basically that's what the managers and recruiters are going to be looking at. They don't know you, they don't know what you've done, but this can talk for itself. So what I did was I decided I was going to fill this all green and just code every single day, right? So as you can see, anyone that would come before anyone that would come to my GitHub account, they would just see this all full, right? Then I got a job here. This was, we were also using GitHub. So that's why I have only here, I wasn't working on the weekends, but then right now we're not even using GitHub. I don't have any more. It doesn't even matter. Now I actually have experience. But again, this is just not to say to do the same thing, but just an example of just give it your all. It's only a certain amount of time. And then once you get a job, once you have your foot in the door, you have that first job, it's, everything is just going to ride so much smoother. I have consistent emails, okay, about jobs. These are all jobs: remote opportunity, Python developer, senior front end developer. I also, because I took Java in college, I have a bunch of job offers for Java. I can't even remember anything about Java. These are just a few that I was saving that are relevant to me, that I said, okay, I'll look at it at some point. But honestly, I never got to that point because Amazon hit me up, Microsoft, and Facebook. And so I'll probably be applying to those places. I have an interview lined up in a month. For those companies, you do have to get prepared. You do have to learn some other stuff for it. But here's LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn, I have a bunch of messages. They're all for backend engineer. Everything is just for programming, right? So for me, something that really worked was LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I give it 10 points out of 10, 100 points out of 100. It was, if you, at first I would apply to a bunch of places. I used different websites, like Glassdoor and recruiters and whatnot. And this, honestly, the job that I have right now and the jobs that I've been getting, they're all coming to me. Everything is coming to me. I dedicated some time to building a strong LinkedIn account. Again, the GitHub, that's what I did at first, not anymore. But LinkedIn, I still keep my LinkedIn, and I try to, keep it up to par. I would suggest definitely go to use the premium, use everything that they have here for the job. And eventually, honestly, I'm no different than any of you. I was there just a couple of years ago. This was my situation last year. So even in this time, I had a similar situation where you're just going to get bombarded with, with jobs just because the demand is super high. And there are not that many developers. And even many of the developers that are trying to make it, again, they're also going to let go, at some point. So if you're there and you're sticking to it, you're for sure going to get something. There's no doubt about that. So yeah, congratulations everybody on your final projects. Eager to see what you guys are gonna be showing tonight. And then again, just don't let go. Keep at it, and you'll get it, man. It's nice. The lifestyle is different. The money is different. Like it's a life changing. At least it was for me. So congrats everyone. If anyone has any questions.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your perspective. Like, it's really impressive to see your LinkedIn, like, see how many people are like interested in developers, and I think you're totally right. And that's part of the reasons why I did the bootcamp in the first place. On top of the fact that I'm a web guy. Like, I love, like, I kind of work in web today, but not as a developer. I just think it's like a future-proof job, and I mean, it's amazing to hear your perspective.
Yeah. I agree, man.
I actually have one quick question. When you did the year of working on code every day, where did you find like projects to work on? Were you just coming up with stuff yourself, or did you have someplace where you were like pulling ideas from to work on stuff?
That's a great question. So contacts, again, I became good friends with some important people, and they would just throw stuff at me left and right. Ideas myself, I did have my ideas when I did the final project, for example, and then I was like, oh, well, I would like to do this. My take on that is, if you're going to start something, right, and you don't have the experience, first of all, in starting a company, which it could take a bunch of time, right, and you could fail and want it, and you got to stay in it. My situation was I didn't have that. I needed something concrete. I needed a road, a paved road, right? And again, this road that Four Geeks is presenting in front of you guys is pretty much set. I mean, these guys know what they're doing. So talking to different contacts that I met through Four Geeks, I would go to FIU. They had programming conferences. I would meet people, and they're like, I need this done. I need to get this done. I did a whole website for, I guess it was a pretty big company. I didn't know at the time. But again, these are things that I was able to show in my resume. Even though I didn't do everything in it, it doesn't matter. In your resume, you're obviously can exaggerate a little bit everything, right? So I was like, yeah, I did this giant website and it was there. I only did a part of it, but still. Same thing with a phone application. That was a huge break that I got. It was a cheap deal. It's not like I was making that much money at the moment, but I was just holding on to my savings just to get, and again, I could have probably gotten a job sooner if I would have applied myself and dedicated to getting a job. But at the moment, I was just busy coding, and just getting familiar with that. But then as soon as I applied and I opened my LinkedIn, that was like pretty much set. It was super quick. So in your case, again, what the managers are looking for mostly is experience, and that is what you lack, right? You may know how to code a little bit, whatever, but you don't have that experience. So maybe you might have to, exaggerate a little bit. You do things here and there. Try to find some type of project that you can put in your resume, right? And again, through contacts, bro, you can find a lot of sweet little things that just land on you,
Okay, nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I have another question for you, actually, man. What's your point of view of like being like a front end versus a back end? Like, I see that you're like a full stack. Like, what's your point of view on that?
Good question, man. Yeah, so I had out of my friends that I went to a class with, some stuck with one and some others stuck with the others, right? And honestly, something I noticed too is a lot of these jobs, they're looking for someone specialized in something, right? They don't care, let's say that 5 different languages, but you can barely do anything with the 5 different languages, right? They want, okay, I need someone that's an expert at React, one thing. And then you're like, that's me. You need React, I got you, right? So in my case, I already knew programming from college. So I was pretty comfortable with both. And that was actually a plus because I'm really comfortable with both. So I was like, okay, you need React, I got you. And then, for example, in this case, right now in this company, they started a Python project. No one knows Python in the company. I was like, like I'm pretty much leading the project just because I know that, right? But if I didn't, no one would care. I would still have gotten hired pretty much, right? But anyway, since you guys are learning both are gonna go definitely on your resume. But either way, to me, front end or back end, they both have their fun stuff. I really enjoy coding and I really enjoy like complicated algorithms. So I could care less whether it's front end or back end. The only thing I don't like much about front end is the whole styling and whatnot. But usually in the company, you're going to have like a UI developer and they're going to tell you, look, this is exactly what we need. All you got to do is copy it. You don't have to worry about, all that styling and all that. So as long as it's code, I'm good with it. And actually, after the first few years, you can either hone down on front end. For example, I have a good friend. He just dedicated himself to React front end. He actually pushed this way all the way to getting like senior positions, high paid senior positions. But that is, again, specializing in one thing. I'm a little behind on that sense just because I'm tugging with more stuff, but it's just fun for me as well, But yeah.
Thank you, man. I got like one final question, and I'll stop asking questions. Man, so like for the job applications that you've been getting, like what do you see like people are looking for the most right now? Like, is it React? Is it backend? Like, what languages or like what
I
skill
get
set
so
are you getting?
so what I notice is what I have on my LinkedIn and what I have on my resume, that's what I get bombarded with, right? So even like I said, I have Java. There's a lot of Java out there, by the way. But there's I wouldn't tell you stick with this or stick with that because there's both, especially with Python and React. There's a bunch of that, but that's all I see because that's all I get offered just because that's what I have. But I'm sure, if there are other technologies, they'll, even Go, for example, Go, the Google, right? Swift, those are huge. C++, those are huge. But again, I don't see that much. All I see is the same technologies that we know. But I see a bunch, man. Everything I have is all either Python for backend or React for the front end or both, So there's tons. I mean, I have like 350 different emails, and that's only the ones that are relevant to me. They're even asking me to do stuff that is I don't even know. I was like, no, I'm not the guy. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Hernan. Any other questions for him? Well, we had a night full of a ton of information, so thank you so much, Hernan, for coming and for sharing your post-bootcamp expertise with our graduating class tonight. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, boss.
Good stuff, man.
Thank you,
Thanks, guys.
All right, so the time has come. Now we're going to move into project presentations. So if I recall correctly, the first group up is Recommender. So Recommender, you can take it away.
Let me see how to share my screen here. I think I know how to do it. Oh, no, that's my camera. Oh, here we go. You guys see my screen?
Yep, sir. I see a desktop.
All right. You can see this, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, cool. Can you hear me well?
All's well.
Yes. All right, cool. All right, guys. So this is our project. My team members are Alex Gajardo, which is actually my brother. So I got to do a coding class with my brother for 3 months. A lot of stress on top of having a job, just doing this part-time on top of planning a wedding also. My fiance wanted to kill me, but it was something that I really wanted to do, and I'm glad that I did do. My name is Michael Gajardo. I know I call myself Mikey G Funkalicious on here, but that's just because I wanted to be silly. But I'll introduce myself and my team members a little bit later. Another person who's also part of a group is Alejandro. But I'm the only one presenting today because Alejandro's in Cuba and my brother's in Germany. So that's okay. I'm totally fine with presenting this. But I'm going to dive right in. All right, so Recommender. We are a vinyl curation service, right? And we have a personality, like a music assessment that basically puts you into 5 different buckets, right? Like you're either mellow, unpretentious, sophisticated, intense, or contemporary. So based off of this personality quiz, we're basically sending you like curated records every month. This is our homepage for the culture, for the rock and roll. We are Recommender. Every story, every record has a story. Recommender is here to rekindle your musical taste buds. I recommend it. The story starts with you. Let your narrative run wild as you rediscover the freshest tunes on the planet on the most authentic format. Vinyl. Recommender is you. It is us. It is we. We're music enthusiasts, historians of the perfect beat, record junkies. We strive to provide you with our most personalized and deepest curations. The world's best records delivered to your front door. And we have these cool record animations. Take our music assessment today and let the music that best suits you find it. And then this is another cool little sign up animation, which actually takes us to our next step. Signing up for an account. Sign up. All right, we're gonna log in now. And this is the quiz that I was talking to you guys about. The last 2 times I did this, I got intense. Let's see if I do it again. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer based off my profile. So you're at the bar, what are you ordering? I'm a beer type of guy, always will be. If you have to pick a film genre, which would it be? I'm gonna choose documentary. You're on a vacation, a location never been before. What are you most excited for? Finding the hotspots and the nightlife. Aside from popular sports, which sport would you be most inclined to try out? Probably boxing. Always want to do that. Choose a color. I'm blue. If you could be one superhero, which would you be? Definitely Thor. You're at a party. What's your first inclination? Head directly to the bar for sure. When people see your music playlist, they say that that was loud. Yeah, that sounds like me. Which animal closely resembles you? Probably a lion, maybe. And then when listening to music, what do you enjoy the most in a song? I am definitely an instruments kind of guy. So I'm gonna do this. And I got intense again. So basically, once you do your quiz, you're taken into your profile, which basically shows our record recommendations. I'll go through the intents and then I'll show you the other ones as well. One of the hidden Mickeys here is that this spells out, music on the way down. So that's pretty cool. So tap our intense collection. These are records that you'll receive. So Led Zeppelin, Metallica, Rage Against the Machine, Rush, Tool. Really cool bands. We have these like Spotify previews here, which I'm not sure if you guys are able to hear this through like sharing my screen.
Not coming through, but that's okay.
Not right. Yeah, that's okay. So give that record player what it deserves, some good old soul. We'll deliver 4 unique and timeless records for every month. Keep the ones you love, exchange the ones you don't. All for one monthly rate, guaranteed to keep your record player busy. And then we go down, features, not bugs. More cool record animations. Do you have a question? Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, sorry, I was looking at Space Invaders. Cool.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, man. Okay, discover new and old artists, grow and expand your collection, creations, get deeper as we find out what you love, change styles whenever you like. And then there's a big subscribe CTA at the very bottom. But before I hit subscribe, before I go to that view, I kind of want to go through some of the other ones. So Mellow, basically the same thing, right? It just has like different designs, different like record recommendations. If you haven't heard this band is pretty cool. The Whitest Boy Live, take notes. And then everything else is the same below. But I kind of want to show these like views that we made for each. So for Johnny Cash, The Beatles, Jimi Hendrix Experience, Thomas and Papa's Theater Avon. This is Unpretentious, so more folk country music. Sophisticated is more like jazz, of course. Intelligent, inspiring, complex features. Avant-garde, full saxophone. And then, of course, we're going to give you some jazzy recommendations here. And then the other one we haven't gone to is contemporary. So this is like percussive, electric, danceable, hip hop, electronica, Latin reggae. I have a cool DJ deck here, and then Daft Punk. I have this record. This record's awesome. Bob Marley, I actually have this one too. Subtract, a track called Quest, and Bad Bunny. And we have the previews here. So I'm gonna go to our next view, which is our checkout view, right? Hopefully you've liked what you've seen at this point, that you want to put in like your information for $69 and order 4 records a month, curated by us. So this is kind of our API integration, right? Where we have like a favoriting feature. I'm actually going to the Red Hot Chili Peppers concert on Tuesday at the Hard Rock Stadium. Very excited about that. They're my favorite band. So you can go into an album, like it, and then it shows up on your wish list. And then we also have an About Us view, and this is when I'm going to introduce my team members. I'll start with myself, my backgrounds, and web marketing, my affinity, branding, empathetic UI, problem solving. I enjoy music, digital art, and Arsenal FC. I invite you to look up the Premier League table. You know, you can tell me who's at the top right now. Design, logic, debugging, API. This is my GitHub repo. This is like a cool Gorillas thing. I'll introduce my brother who couldn't make it today, obviously. He has a background in finance and sales. His affinity is technology, design patterns, enjoys music, sports, travel, and art. He worked on the concept, the design, the content, and all of this cool typography, all of this visual stuff, really, like Alex is amazing at. And finally, I'll introduce Alejandro. We couldn't get his bio on time, so we kind of made like a little funny thing. Sorry, folks. Unfortunately, Alejandro could not make it to the show tonight. We don't know his whereabouts, really, right now. But he worked on the back end, the Firebase, and the API. So really strong contributions from all 3 of these guys. And then we have like a little Beastie Boys little graphic here. That's me. This is my brother, and this is Alejandro. We have our GitHub repo here in case anybody wants to like check under the hood, see what's going on there. The technologies used. We used Firebase, HTML, CSS, React, and JavaScript. Challenges. This is the number pi. In terms of challenges, I think for sure, like the logic for the quiz was challenging. I couldn't really find an example online that like was like that, like kind of a personality quiz where you have 5 competing different like results, and then one of those results had to be the winner. So I had to figure out the logic for that. That was really cool. I'm proud of myself that I was able to figure that out.
You're the one that worked on that. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah. I did work on it. But yeah, that was definitely challenging. It's our first time working on a back end, so you know that was a very new experience. So that was very challenging as well. But then once you do it once, it's like you can do it over again. It's like once you learn something, the next time will be easier. So that's kind of like the difficulty and the beauty of coding, right? And then of course, just everything. Everything's hard. Like you can Google things and not find the answers. You can watch YouTube videos for like hours and not find the answers. But then that's why experience is so important, in my opinion. Yeah, those are our challenges, and then future implementations, what we would like to make a bit better. is definitely some of the mobile views for our project, like responsivity. It would be cool if we could like link your personality type to like have like, you know, if you're mellow, if you're intense, like the whole site changes, or like you have like different things tied to like that account that makes your content dynamic. So I think if we're able to, that would probably be like the next step for this project. And then finally, this is kind of, you know, to say we don't own any of the rights, we kind of pulled all these, most of these images off the internet, of course. And then one last view, and then I'm done, would be, we created like a Google form for feedback in case anybody wants to leave anything. I'm actually gonna link this here on the chat. Sorry, give me 1 second. And that's it, guys. That's a project recommended.
Very well done.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was super polished.
That was good.
Question about the, if I may, about the payment portal. Does that lead anywhere? Is that just, is there
No,
anything
that's
behind that?
it's just mock right now. So
Okay.
I mean, we could use, I think there's a thing called Stripe or something like that, where like if we wanted to like have a payment, like there's like a service you could add, right? Or use like a third party like vendor or something to like actually have that work. But right now it's just mock.
Yeah. And one other thing, Spotify, how was that added? Was that like through a plugin, is it? Or I forgot what it's called.
That actually my brother added that. But it was, yeah, it was like a component that you add, that you it's an npm install that you
Okay.
add the Spotify into, and then we also use the Spotify API. That was our API integration.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, killer job. Look good.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, obviously I love music. I got all the stuff in the background, so I was like, oh man, you know, we got to do a music thing. And it was me and my brother working on it, and my brother's another like big music lover and appreciator. So I think we were able to put like a lot of like heart and soul into it, and that's
Yeah,
what we
for
wanted
sure.
to do at the end of the day.
Good job, Mike.
Thank you.
Yes, really great project. I love the visuals and the aesthetic vibe. So really great job there. Okay, we have group 2 up next with Relocation Station.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Get this going.
Let's do it.
Let's see. I have 2 windows open. Is this the right screen?
You're on.
Do you see the code?
Yeah, you're in a code screen.
So let me change that.
Hey.
All right. Good evening. I'm Adam, and from Four Geeks. Got into this just to expand my skill set. Felt like I could use a little work, and my interests are like city development and also like the psychological and societal impact that has. So I'm made this project trying to work towards that end, and joined by Hawk.
Yep, I'm Hawk. I'm the second guy on the project. I pretty much joined this to just challenge myself and give myself a little bit more stability when it comes to job and everything. So yeah, that's my take on it. Frankie?
Yep, I'm Frank. I'm the third guy that'll be presenting on the end. You can go ahead, Adam.
Very good. So the idea behind Relocation Station is to provide the user with data relevant to moving to another state or even a city within their own state. And it would just be used by selecting a target state, and that would show you some data points similar to what's on the right here, so you could decide if it aligns with your living standards and if that's the type of place that you want to live in. And you'll be able to compare that to other cities within the state and other cities within the country. So, like I said, this is kind of like a personal project of mine. I've been interested in the opportunity of working remotely, and that means I could go anywhere in the world. And if I could go anywhere in the world, where would that be? Right now, we're limited to the United States, but in searching for that answer, I came across many websites with many different points of data and blog posts as well that had their own opinions on what the best place to live in is. And as you can see on the right here, we have two best places to live type lists, and their top 5 are completely different from each other. And that was something that I'd rather avoid. So we wanted to make a website that compiles data so that the user can sort by what they're interested in, what they value, and come to their own conclusions. Our pages were rendered using React. React components were created using JavaScript and HTML with templates from Bootstrap just to make things a lot quicker. And the APIs were implemented using Flux and Flask. And after that, we just tidied everything up with CSS. And I'll move over to the web demo.
Yeah. So I'm Hawk, and Adam came up with the idea for the project because he wanted to possibly relocate when he gets a job opportunity. So I was like, who doesn't like learning about new places? So I joined in with him, and this is what we came up with. On arriving to the site, you had the option as a user to sign up in the top right. Sign up using all your information. After signing up, you'll log in, and it'll return you to the home screen. On the home screen, you will be able to scroll through and look for your desired destination of places you would possibly want to move to, or you can search in the search bar for a desired state. In this instance, we want to look for a place that has cooler weather and easy to transitable and walk through, possibly with different cities. So we're going to take a look at New York. On arriving in New York, below New York, you will see there's a little bookmark there. Clicking on this bookmark will add it to your favorites, which you'll be able to access in your top right in the features. And below New York in the bookmark is the data of New York itself with the population, the capital city, and the nickname, Empire State. Below that is a picture of the actual New York City itself. And below that, we have the data for the 3 cities that we came up with for New York. Here we have New York City with an average cost of living of 187.2 above national average, which is substantially high. A population of 8 million, which is kind of incredible itself, an average income of 52,000, an inclement weather of hurricanes, thunderstorms, and winter storms, so a wide variety of weather with a typical annual temperature range of 28 degrees Fahrenheit to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is where it gets real juicy. The walk score is 88 and the transit score is 89. So in New York City, it'd be easy to walk through the city or get public transportation. But if we take a look at Buffalo, it has a walk score of 67 and a transit score of 47, which is substantially lower. So if you live in Buffalo, you may need to use a car to get around, possibly. You might be able to walk, but the average income, if we compared it to Buffalo, is 79% high, 79% of the national average, and a population of 254,000. So if you want to live somewhere as a little less population, Buffalo would be your bet there. And the average income is a little bit lower. The inclement weather is snow, blizzards, and icing conditions. So if you like snow, you're better off there. And the typical annual temperature range of 9 degrees Fahrenheit to 79 degrees Fahrenheit. But let's say you don't want to live in a place that's cold. Say you want to live in a place with beautiful women, beaches, and you can sit on the beach and drink Mai Tais. We'll take a look at Florida. So if we go back to the home screen here, or we can search in the search bar, either way.
We'll go here.
We'll click on the tile. Okay. And below that, you have the option too for the bookmark. If you want to bookmark Florida, it's a place you would know, want to go back in desirable. Below that is all the data for it as well. The population, the city, the capital city, the nickname. And below this, we have the 3 cities of Florida that we found most desirable. Look at Miami itself with an average cost of living of 123.1% of national average. So it's definitely above the national average. Population of 471,000, an average income of 30,000, an inclement weather of hurricanes and thunderstorms, and typical annual temperature range is 62 degrees Fahrenheit to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you like warm weather, Miami will definitely be your bet. With a walk score of 77 and a transit score of 57. So Miami's definitely walkable. If you move there, you may not need a vehicle. But if you look at Jacksonville here, you'll have a walk score of 26 and a transit score of 21. So if you're looking to move to Jacksonville, you definitely better bring your vehicle. And on that note, I'm going to let Frank take it away to end the show.
Thank you, Hawk.
Thank you.
Definitely not walking anywhere in Miami, and saying it's warm is definitely an understatement. Hello, everyone. I'm Frank Olano. I'm the 3rd person on this relocation station project. Before joining Four Geeks, I came from an insurance background. I am very excited for my journey into the wonderful and frustrating world of coding. One big reason I joined the Academy was because of our speaker today, Hernan. Hernan is a close family friend of mine and a Four Geeks graduate, and I have seen him grow like no one else since he's completed the course, both professionally and personally. Really good to see someone firsthand go through the program and have the success that he's had. So I definitely like to thank him, especially for getting this old dog to get excited about something new and learn new tricks, as the old saying goes.
Thank you, Frank.
Yep. So we did have some challenges. We're going to go over some challenges and goofs. Definitely some goofs along the way, but the biggest takeaway for me is how well Hawk, Adam, and I work together. Even though we all have different personalities, styles, and views on the direction of the project, we did end up coming together like a team should for a successful outcome in the end, which gives me a lot of confidence for the 3 amigos, which I call the relocation station guys. And I have to say, I do credit myself for creating this super team. Also, to the thanks. We did leave out some things just due to time constraints. We weren't able to get to them. But in the future, we definitely like to add a user profile page. As you saw when you clicked on the favorites button, it kind of just went to a page which didn't really include a lot of styling. So we're definitely going to add that in the upcoming days. Also, the ability to sort by specific information. More detailed information with some external APIs like weather, leading industries, and home availability. Also, we didn't include the logout function. So as you saw, once you log in our project, you can't log out or ever leave. Like I said, the more cities, the more APIs. So I'm just saying things that are over again. And we also would like to add, like the previous project, I think they had some kind of blog-like feature where you can comment, like, and share. Yes, people from those locations could add their input of some things that maybe outsiders don't know that, might help you make a decision when you do land something or whatnot. But in the end, I just want to say some thanks. I wanted to thank everyone in attendance here today for our presentation. We all worked very hard and are proud to share our accomplishments with you. Thank you to the speakers who took their time out of their schedule to be here with us. Also, a very big thank you to our instructors, Shane, Christian, and Jonathan, which is here with us today, who got a job midway through and had to depart us. They all did a fantastic job, and they each had their own unique tech styles, where I feel, combined really provided a clearer picture to understanding the wonderful and unlimited world of coding. So thanks to our classmates as well, most of which I'm seeing their faces for the first time today, just like some of you. Some of them I still haven't seen any other faces, but also just say congratulations to them all for making it through this course. It was not easy. And also say thank you to Marcelo and Alejandro, the founders of the Academy, for providing this platform to learn and grow. Especially Alejandro, I really feel, to me, he's more like a celebrity at this point, just because I've seen him through so many YouTube videos and some of the lessons. Without The way he explained things, I definitely wouldn't have came as far as I came. Also want to say thank you to Alyssa, Carla, Adele, Valentina, and the rest of the girls from the Four Geek staff for helping us navigate everything outside of the classroom. Everything was fantastic, and I mean it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Also, I wanted to say before I let you go, I wanted to thank my beautiful wife, Kimberly, for supporting me through this journey. Without her, I could have never done this, and I mean both mentally and financially.
Wonderful.
Good.
Guys.
Nice.
And if you have any questions, Adam is going to be the guy answering them, not me.
Exactly.
All good.
Great job, great job. Any questions for this group? Well, thank you for thanking me, Frank. That made me feel really nice. Okay, our next group is Real Reviews. So you guys can take over.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. And we have Daniel there in person. Is Daniel, are you ready? I can't see you.
Yes, I'm here. Can you listen to? Oh.
Okay. Daniel, are you ready? Are you there?
I think they're trying to fix his mic. I could see him at the screen at the bottom.
Testing.
I can hear you.
We can hear.
Hello.
Hello.
It's working now. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We are Real Reviews Project, a trusted recommendation for your entertainment. Our team is from the MDC Core 17, and our group is made by Camila Mazón, Concheta Chimiento, Daniel Martinez, and Fransley Bohome.
So this is just a little overview of what we're going to be going over in this presentation. So what is Real Reviews? Real Reviews is a website where you can view movie rankings, you can find a new movie to watch, you can see what movies are popular and trending, you can add movies to your watch list, and also keep track of the movies that you've watched. And here we're all gonna go over a very special moment that we had here at Four Geeks.
Hi everyone, I'm Camila Masson. I think there's an echo because the Four Geeks is not on mute. I'm calling. There you go. Okay, so my favorite moment from this course was when I was finally able to get the popcorn element of our login and sign up page to work on our final project. So you guys are gonna see that in a second. It took me a couple days, it was really difficult, but it's so rewarding when you finally figure out a component or an aspect of your app that you've been struggling with for a while, and you get to see all your hard work pay off. So that was my favorite part.
For me, the most special part of this course has been working on this final project. Just watching all the skills that I've learned over the past couple of months come together made them all make more sense to me. And also just learning how to code together as a group has made me feel more prepared and more confident to be a developer in the real world after this.
A special moment for me was figuring out the login and logout feature. I definitely thought that making accounts for the project would be a very challenging task, and I was nervous about it originally, but then as I started going on with the project, everything started to click together when it comes down to seeing videos and documentation. There's a lot of guides when you search deeply enough that can help you out whenever you're stuck and trying to figure out how to solve a problem in your project.
Now, when I started this course, I have no idea what it was like to be a web page developer. I thought it was easy because in short videos in social media, everyone does it easy. You know, one click here, one click there, boom, you have a website. Now that we are finishing the course with this project, I realized that it was not. It requires a lot of effort, dedication. So I'm really proud to have completed the course, and I know that good things lie ahead. In fact, this week I met with a client for my own marketing business and closed the deal, having my first contract to develop their website.
That's awesome.
Okay, today we live in a world where technology is an important part of our life. Being entertainment, such as movies and TV series, the most important source of entertainment right now. There are several companies like Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max that are developing content on a weekly basis in order to catch as many audience as possible and profit them for the subscription. It's important to know that not all the content they made is high quality content. So people, clients, you, me, ended up wasting time and money that are the most important assets of our life. Our project, Real Reviews, comes as a solution for that. Through complete description and reviews for the best film critics in the world and millions of fans that give their opinion, our website that is fast and easy to use also have feature that is a watch list where you can record all the TV series or movie you want to see later.
So some facts about reviews. There's a lot of demand for movie reviews. There are actually companies hiring people to review movies. They're offering like around $2,500 just to watch movies and to write their reviews or to rate the movie. Reviews really help people to understand movies or shows. A lot of times there's open endings to films or different things, and it's kind of hard to understand what the film was about, or you have to go and look at the rating or look at the review to see if the movie is really worth your time. So reviews really are time savers. They save at least 4 days of your life or a total of 96 total hours per year. So it's really actually turned out to be an important thing to look at. For example, Daniel was telling us a story that he had been recommended by someone to watch this movie Rubber. And the guy's like, it's a great movie, amazing, go watch it. So he didn't look at the review, he didn't read anything about it, he just watched it. And he found out that it was a movie about a killer tire that rolls around and murders people and falls in love with a lady. And he realized, wow, this was not worth my time to watch. If he would have looked at a rating or looked at a review, he maybe would have saved himself the trouble. So they are worth it.
The technologies that we use for our website are HTML, CSS, also Bootstrap, JavaScript, React, Flux, Firebase, Figma, and the API where we pulled all of our information from was the movie database API.
So for challenges that we faced, we thought about working together as a team to be a really challenging task at the start. So when we first started off our journey with learning programming, we pretty much did a lot of the work on our own with help from the instructors. So the idea of actually doing an assignment with a group of other people seemed intimidating, but it was actually easier as we started going on with the project, like just making a simple prototype at the start and then splitting up the work from there, like the different views of the website or different components that we had to work on. So we definitely saved a lot of time actually working together, and we definitely have that experience of working with other people. And we also had to learn about implementing new technologies like Firebase or the APIs. And at first, it seems hard to accomplish because there's a lot thrown at you. But when you go through documentation and get help from the instructors and look through videos, then you start getting more comfortable with the technologies. So now that we actually have the experience of using these, if we ever had to use them again, we could definitely do things much faster and more efficiently. And we also learned that you have to have a lot of patience, time and patience to build a website from the start. So sometimes you may run into a big error that may be caused by even just one simple line of code that caused a big issue for you. And you have to filter through to figure out exactly where the issue started from. So definitely you have to have a lot of patience to get through the code and figure out what to do afterwards. And we definitely learned about the great contributions that websites can have for the community. So this website, for example, can help people with reviews, and they can definitely save a lot of time with it.
So here we have a little video demo. What we're gonna actually do a live demo. This is just a backup in case. So we're gonna start off with our homepage. At the top, we have our ranking system. So if you see the green smiley face, that means the movie was rated an 8 out of 10 or higher. You see the yellow smiley face, it means the movie was rated between a 5 through an 8 out of 10. And then if you see the red frowny face, it means the movie was rated a 5 or below. And we got all of the ranking information, all the movie information from the movie database API. So if you scroll down, you can browse and just scroll through all of our curated collections that we made. And if you hover over a movie, it's going to say show details, and you can see the trailer for the movie, or you can see the movie description. And then another feature that we have is our movie search feature. You can search for any movie that you want. It'll come up. The Lego movie or Pirates of the Caribbean. And then we also have a random movie feature. You can choose any genre that you want. I'm going to choose animation. And then you hit this button, you'll get a random animated movie. And then also you can sign up for a new account, or you can log into your existing account, which is what I'm going to do. And Camila's going to talk a little bit about the login page that she designed.
Yeah, so for the login and the sign up page, I did a gradient background. We used some glass morphism for the login portion and the sign up portion to give that kind of blurred effect with the popcorn behind it. And then for the popcorn, I was able to use 2 different images of popcorn and some animations to give it that like popping feature.
So once you're logged in, you have access to the watch list, and also I'm going to show you the home page again. So now that we're logged in, now buttons appear, so you can add all of these to your watch list if you want. So this is my watch list, and there's a section for movies that you want to watch that you added to your watch list. There's also a section for movies that you've completed. So once you click the check mark, it'll go to the watched movies section. And Fransley is going to talk a little bit more about this.
So when it comes down to implementing the feature for this, we had to use Firebase in order to create the accounts. So when we incorporated it onto our code, there was a lot of functions that they were able to provide that we can use to create the user and get their information in order to create a collection for them on Firestore, which is the database that we use in order to actually store all of the movie data. So every movie is sorted by a particular unique ID that we have. And whenever they go on to log into their account, it pulls the data from Firestore and compares the ID related to the account. So we are able to get the pictures and the movie data and the title in order to display it on here. And so it checks to see if a movie already exists within Firestore, so that it can make sure that there aren't any duplicates on there, and it can sort the movies to the correct location.
And then lastly, we have the logout feature. And that's it for our website. I'm gonna go back to our presentation. Just have 1 or 2 more slides. Sorry.
So some next steps for our website that we can potentially implement would be to add actual written reviews from professional movie critics so that people can see what the professionals are saying about the movies. And then also add a comment section for viewers to put their own reviews of the films. And then that way you get like the professional opinion and then also like the average viewer's opinion on each film. And then we could also put information on what streaming platform each movie can be located on or found on. Some of our next steps. And then lastly, we just want to say thank you to everyone. We want to shout out Israel and Ivan. Thank you guys so much. You guys were great teachers during this course. Thank you to Four Geeks. We really enjoyed the course. It was a great opportunity. All 4 of us got a lot out of it. And, you know, we also just wanted to shout out our classmates as well. It is really hard to go through this course at some times. So it's really nice to have other people who help you out and that you can bounce things off of or just commiserate with. So it was a really great experience, and just thank you to everyone. We really appreciate it.
Good job, guys.
Very nice.
Yeah, I love your guys' project. So many like features.
Every day's got it going on.
Yeah, hey guys, I forgot to shout out Israel and I during my presentation too. So I want to give them a massive shout out. These guys are amazing at what they do. They like anything we ask them, like just ideas to bounce off of. Like these guys are great. I was part of the NBC cohort as well.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank all of you guys to be there and to work hard and to commit. And I hope that you get a job really, really soon. I'll be really happy for you.
Absolutely. Very quickly, did you guys mostly work remote or only work remote? Did any of you go to campus? Was there classes at the Wolfson campus?
Yeah, it was at the Padron campus from
Okay.
6 to 9, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we were actually in person.
Okay.
Another really great project. You guys all have really strong projects tonight, so great job. Our next group up is About Pause.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Orlando, can you put up the presentation?
One second. Okay, can you see my screen?
No.
No?
Now we can.
All good now, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1 second. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Orlando Vives, and today me and my partner Nelson will be showing you our project called About Pause. So About Us is a website where you can find general information about all types of dogs. Here we have our inspiration for this project. This is my dog Shams. He's a 1-year-old. He's a Shih Tzu. And Nelson.
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name's Nelson. I was very excited to do this coding course, boot camp. Mostly to learn, but now I actually do want to do it as a full career and take it on and find a job like the most of you. And for this project, we did go with dogs because dogs have helped us a lot, both personally. And this is my beautiful German Shepherd, Loki.
Nice.
So yeah, why About Us? In both our lives, dogs have been a big part. So we decided to make a page with information on dogs and breeds to help other people find the right dog for them, so that they also get to experience, the joy of having a dog. This is how it looks. Here we have a couple screenshots. This is our homepage where you can find hundreds of breeds, their weight, height, and a brief description of their features and behavior. The technologies. Here are the technologies and tools we used to create this great website. We used React, JavaScript, Bootstrap, HTML, CSS, and Python. And now Nelson is gonna take over and show you what it looks like. Nelson?
Okay, so can you guys see my screen?
Yep, perfect.
Awesome. Okay, so this is what I call the cute part of the presentation. This is a bunch of cute dogs.
Yeah, it is.
And if you're a dog lover like me, this is heaven. But okay. So yes, our page was about, the main part of it is the information, quick and maybe a little more in detail if you want to learn more about that specific one. But it is information, and a lot of other websites do block out like information's behind, oh, make an account, ads, do you want this, do you want that? And then we really did not want that, so we made it straight to the point. You come in, you immediately get a bunch of different dog breeds, and we do have over, I believe it's 350, over 350 different dog breeds, which is incredible and crazy. Didn't know there were that many, but of course, with all those, we added a way to search through them. If you're a lover, German Shepherds like me. You can just search through all of them and find them. You can learn more about them. Turn home, and you'll be right back. Now, we do want you to find out like what type of dog is for you and your lifestyle. So we do have a quiz that leads right now to a different quiz, not one that we created because of time constraints and stuff. But we also want you to have a page where you like, let's say, for me, it's a German, always. Or you want to like a German Shepherd, it's going to ask you to log in because it's going to register it specific to your account. You don't have an account, you can register. And then it's going to ask you to log in. And you're gonna, right now it's very simple, but you're gonna go straight into your favorites, which is your profile page. Very simple. You can go back, add as many as you want, as little as you want. No name has a comma. I'm a Shepherd. You can go back. There's your favorite ones. You can see what they have and what they don't have. And yeah, pretty much about it. Can we go back to the presentation? Yeah, so challenges. Our dog API was limited in information, which I did not like, and yeah, errors. I mean, I'm sure everyone I had a bunch of funny, interesting errors. I had one that took me 2 hours and it was 1 comma. And the time constraint, I do want to make my own API and I would love to make my own quiz, but because of time, I was not unable.
All very relatable.
Yeah.
Yep. Good job,
So
guys.
that's what's coming next. So yeah, we want to create and customize our own quiz with what we consider to be the best parameters to help you find the right read for you. And also we want to implement our own API with more information and more docs. And that was about pause. Thank you guys for your attention, and thanks to the 4Geeks staff for the assistance on this project.
Good job, guys.
Very nice.
Very good.
Thank you, guys.
So you did use a third-party API for the dog breeds?
Yes, for the dog breeds is a third-party API, and then for the users and stuff, we made our.
Okay, great. Very nice.
Good job, guys. As I said during the rehearsal, we all love a project about dogs. Who
Yes.
cannot enjoy looking at those furry faces and the thank you note at the end. Very nice. Okay, our next project is a 5-star dating.
Austin.
Hey, be right with you guys 1 moment.
Does my mic work this time? You guys can hear me.
Yeah, it's
So far,
working.
so good.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Austin. This is our website. Me and Israel created this. The reason why I joined the cohort is because I was looking for something interesting, something different, a different career path. And I'm here. Happy to be here with you guys. It's an amazing experience. So this is our site. Israel, would you like to share anything about yourself?
Yeah, man. I'm Israel. I'm his partner in this project. We both thought of this idea together, actually. Well, he brought it up first, but then we built it up together. And I joined this boot camp for similar reasons. I wanted to learn. I've always been interested in technology. I actually have sort of a background in messing around with like the hardware, so I've always been I was more into IT before this. But it's also nice to know how to like make programs and also like make websites. And I'm excited for learning more. That's about it.
Right, that's right. All right, so this is the 5-star dating app. So welcome to the date to rate system, where you have a dating score basically. So the 5-star dating app is an inclusive website where people are encouraged to be more authentic in their self-expression while also finding a better suited match. The goal is to make the application more interactive than other dating sites, and making it feel more natural for the users to be able to start a conversation and find a better fitted match. Oh, our 5-star dating app vision is to allow the users to date with a purpose by bringing like-minded people together, which can make dating much easier, right? So a lot of the challenges we face, like a lot of us has already mentioned previously, is time management, right? Working as well as, also trying to figure out how to, make time for mentorships to help us with the project has been extremely difficult. And, finding the user API and error messages, the last team also mentioned that as well. A lot of error messages. Some of them that'll make you lose your hair, basically, right? So now our website allows daters to rate their experience on a date. It allows detailed comments to be posted on their profile, and reviews can be based on users' experience. So if you're going to, join the app, it's important to bring your A game while dating. Okay. So the difference between our sites and regular dating sites. So if you guys are in the dating scene, I'm sure some of you are, mostly you have to wait for a match, right? So this one, our site allows you to send a request, and based off of if the person reviews your profile, see your reviews, they can accept or decline, right? So that makes your date much quicker, much easier, because you can actually already know the person's personality who you're reaching out to. So it saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot of money, and you won't be just like one of these folks here, right? This person's just there for the food, and the person lied about their height. Okay, some of the technologies we used was JavaScript, CSS, Python, HTML, and React library. Okay, now what we have been waiting for is the website. It's all yours, Israel.
All right. Well, I'll be showing the website. Give me 1 second. All right. So this is the introduction page. This will be the first page you see once you actually go into the website. On top, we have the logo. And here we have just basically the introduction. So it starts here. You're supposed to pick if you're male or female, and whether you're looking for a male or female partner. Right now, this doesn't really work, but we're going to add that later in a few days. But it does have a sign up feature, which is a join now button. You'll notice this page is similar to the introduction page, just a different background. And here you just put your basic information. I already have my email there, my password, your first name, last name, bio by yourself, and your age. Sign up. It'll take you automatically to login page. You log in. You'll be taken to the website's main page after you log in. You'll be introduced by the website, whoever's logged in. We're also going to offer the functionality of searching by city, country, or zip code. Not functional yet, but we'll add it. And the idea, like Austin mentioned, instead of being match based, is going to be more just on requests. That's why it looks more like profiles instead of cards, like swiping through cards. Sorry. And so the idea is that you're going to be able to scroll through profiles, and that's why we have the read reviews. This would this is just like a foundation of how the profile would look, not the complete thing yet. But it would have a basic bio, some pictures of themselves, and the part that makes the website, the reviews. Important note: the reviews would only be available after an actual date. They won't be available before the date. And so to show you a little bit of the functionality, let's say you request a date. Okay, if that's right. You go here. I'm logged in as we're ready. How to go to your inbox. How to show up at the bottom. It's a pending request. She would have the option of accepting or declining. Decline just makes the card disappear and it limits the date. So I'll show you the accept feature, which confirms that the date was accepted. And if I go back to my page, I go to inbox, I'll get the notification that it's been accepted. Then after this, nothing we didn't add yet, but we would have an instant messaging feature where you can message each other, set up a date, and then that's how the website work.
All right.
That's about it.
Thank you, Israel.
Good job, guys.
Very nice.
That was
Thank
only
you,
two, huh?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, I just wanted to hone in on one thing real quick. You said so many errors that'll make you lose your hair. Funny thing is, with our project, Frank actually started with a full head of hair, and you know.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Crazy.
That's how it be. Well, guys, wanted to say, this project has inspired us to take on bigger challenges. Hopefully, as time goes on, we continue to work on the skills that we've acquired here at Four Geeks. Definitely want to say a special thank you for our instructors, Shane, as well as Christian, as well as Jonathan, who's here tonight. Thank you for helping along the way, especially the mentors, right? Every time you schedule them, they're always there constantly helping you and pointing you in the right direction, even giving you support. So I really want to, give a shout out to them. We appreciate all the support you guys have given us. Thank you.
Awesome job, guys.
Thank you. and also thank you to the Academy because it's been very interesting and yeah, very interesting, very good times.
Definitely good things ahead for you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good project, guys. Thank you very much for your presentation. Our next project up is called iCode. This is an MDC project, so you guys take over. I'm checking the names here, and I'm actually thinking that iCode is not present right now. So we're going to move into the next one. So why don't we have tabletop tile sets go?
Okay, how's it going, everyone?
Hello, everyone.
So, hey, how's it going, guys?
So, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
So our project is the OpenForge map generator. So my name is Brian Murray. I studied economics in college, but I'm looking for change of career to something that might be more fulfilling. So so here I am. Ariel, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, guys. My name is Ariel. I've joined Four Geeks because I was curious about coding. What better way to learn more about it than joining a boot camp? And I've learned so much while here, and had a good time with Brian and Nazar building this app. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Nazar?
Hi guys. Yeah, hi guys. My name is Nizar. I'm studying computer science in college, and the reason I joined Four Geeks is to just level up my skill in like coding, so I can get like a fast job as soon as possible after I graduate.
So for our project, a brief overview of tabletop gaming. There's a little bit of background knowledge necessary to kind of know what the project is for. With tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons, there's a lot of popular ones. There's one called Pathfinder. Cyberpunk 2077, if you've heard of that game, was originally a tabletop game. A lot of tabletop games, they use a grid system. And the grid system is used to measure like player and enemy movement distances, or like the range of a bow and arrow or something, anything like that. So normally a D&D setup might look something like what you see at the bottom here. You've got a grid map that's basically a dry erase board with a grid to it, and you outline kind of the rooms of your area there. And then on the right, you can see that you would buy like a bunch of pieces of walls to then lay on top of the grid map and use as your kind of rooms of the dungeon and everything. But you can see that the grid map paper is $28 and all the terrain pieces are $45. So this is where we get into 3D printing. So it's $45 for a 98-piece kit of terrain tiles on Amazon. But for $17, 3D printing filament, I have a demonstration spool here, comes in 1 kilogram spools. This one's mostly out. When you get them, they're pretty much full all the way out to the edge. So they come in 1 kilogram spools, and you can get 1 kilogram for $17. And the tile pieces average about 10 grams, which means you can get around 100 tiles for $17. And also, 3D printing really lets you kind of unlock your creativity and make a bunch of different tile sets that you really want and not have to buy, pick and choose which one you're going to buy with your $45. 3D printing is broken into basically 3 steps. You're going to download the files from a website like Thingiverse, where these files are hosted. Then you import the files into a slicer. Can you see the slicer, or is it still sharing just the presentation?
No, it's just a gray screen.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. I'll switch the screens really quick here so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yep, see it now.
Okay, so this is you basically would download the 3D models from a website that hosts them like Thingiverse. And then you import them into a slicer like this, and you slice them, which turns it into instructions for the 3D printer, and then you print it. And another thing that comes up momentarily when we demonstrate the site is that pretty commonly what you'll do is you'll duplicate these and you'll just bulk manufacture them like 4 at a time. This right here is a slicer for a very small printer, so you could make 9 at a time on a more reasonable size printer. So you normally are batch manufacturing them. Let me go back to the presentation. And here is what Thingiverse looks like, just for added context as well. Here you have the 3D model. Oh no, something went wrong with Thingiverse. Well, you download the 3D file from there, and then you print the piece after slicing it. You can see the presentation again?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now we have maybe a quick overview of why these things work so well together. The drawbacks are when you're 3D printing large number of pieces, there's practically no way to keep track of your parts inventory. The most common way is probably just like a big Excel sheet and then to put them in a big Ziploc bag. So it's not great. The second problem is that coming up with room layouts is tedious and it's time better spent creating enemy encounters and devising storylines, etc. So if you have like a really well thought out room that you took a bunch of time to design and you were picking pieces out of this plastic bag full of pieces and you spend a bunch of time on that, then you're going to fill every room with like a level 1 goblin and it's going to be pretty boring. So this is something where you can optimize your time spent and spend it better elsewhere. So I think Ariel's going to talk about the technologies and architectures we implemented.
So for our project, we implemented highly sophisticated sign-up API. So you can create an account. We had cutting-edge login API. That way you can store your inventory. Like he was saying, it's hard to keep track. If you use that Excel sheet or anything, you could just put it in our inventory and it'll save it for you. We have state-of-the-art inventory system that stores information on each user's parts inventory along with a number of attributes. That'd be like length and width. And we also have a military-grade random map generator. So you can have infinite creativity at your fingertips with Python. We've used our third-party API was Thingiverse. We used it to pull the images so you have so you can take a look at what the tiles look like.
So allow us to demonstrate. We're gonna switch over here real quick to the project itself. Here's just a very simple kind of landing page. I think Ariel's gonna take us through the first couple pages.
Okay, so right here we have our homepage. Our homepage. We want to go ahead and sign up for our map generator. We go ahead and do that. Once you sign up, it'll take you to your login page. You log in. Once you're logged in, you have access to your inventory, your vault, and in your vault, you can access pieces, and these pieces will then go into your inventory.
Yeah, so each of these pieces has a link on it, and this link takes you to the Thingiverse file for that piece, so you can download it and start printing them. And we have a few different kind of tile sets here, so this gives you an idea of what these look like. So this is the basic stone dungeon. We have a sewer layout here, which has like a very cool sewer feel. That was a weird sentence, but we have a Towns and Streets tile set that kind of has like broken cobble street that looks very cool. Opening behind the share bar, can't see it. And then this ruined tile set. So what you can do when you are signed in is to take these pieces and you can click here to add a quantity. So if we printed 3 of these and 3 of these, for example, you could go to my inventory, and I accidentally saved a couple of 0 quantity inputs here, but it shows your batch production basically. So you printed 3 of these and 3 of these, and then if we go back and add, for example, 5 more of these stone walls, it will show up in the inventory. Then you go to the generator, and when you initially arrive on the generator page, it will show no map. This is a 2-button function. So the first button will generate the map, and the second button will render the map, and then it outputs for you this pattern with a legend at the bottom that tells you which tile goes in each position. So if you lay these out from the tiles you've printed and it doesn't work, it doesn't look good, or you want a different room, you press the generate button again and the render button again, and you get a new map that you can test. So this helps you rapidly iterate like a lot of different possible room layouts that you can try with the pieces you have, and then see if it looks like it would be cool, if it looks like it would be fun, or if it looks like it would be no good. I think Ariel is going to talk about the challenges now.
So some of our challenges, the inventory system needed a huge number of components in order to properly assign all of the necessary attributes to each part's object when stored. Finding a suitable third API and time constraint. Yeah, the third API would have we would have had if we could have found the one that actually has the width, the length, all included, it would have been better. But due to time constraints, we ended up using the third-party API for our images, as you saw. But yeah, that could have, if we could have implemented API with those other components in it, it probably would have helped us a lot, making generating better maps. A further development, we have with more time, the generator could be further developed to understand more nuanced things about how rooms are actually laid out, and also place objects around the room at random, such as dressers, cabinets, barrels, countertops. More pieces could be added to support the inventory, again, through different APIs, and improved aesthetics as well.
And that's it. Thank you so much, guys.
Yep, thank everybody. Thank you all the instructors, all our classmates. Thank you for, like you said, going through the mud with us.
Really
Yeah,
good
thank you
job.
so much, guys.
Yeah, it looked really great.
It's been a very rewarding experience.
You could feel the passion in the way you were talking about it. So
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very nice job, guys. So that concludes our project presentations for tonight. So congratulations, guys. You did it. You completed your cohort. You completed your boot camp. You are all on your way to be certified now. So what happens now? So first of all, I want you guys all to enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's Friday night. Have a drink, celebrate with your family, go out to dinner Saturday night, go to the beach Sunday. It's like you just graduated. Have that nice weekend feeling. And then next week, we will be in contact with you guys with specific step-by-step graduation steps, with steps to get onboarded into the Geek Force platform and the career support steps, and just to start your quote-unquote second boot camp to help you guys land a job within 90 days, which is our goal and was what we're aiming to do. But don't think about that yet. Like I said, enjoy your weekend. Another big congratulations. We had a really strong round of projects this time. I'm really proud of you guys. You guys all put in a lot of hard work and did a really great job. You have your TAs here, your teachers, all congratulating you. So thank you. Thank you all for coming. If you are not from Four Geeks and you attended and you watched our presentations, thank you. This will be on YouTube, so you guys can go back and watch it again if you want, or share it with friends and family. And yeah, that's really it. Thank you guys all so much. I hope you all have a great night, and we will be in touch early next week.
Thanks, Alyssa.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Christian. Appreciate you, brother.
Great experience.
Have a good night.
Thanks
Time to
again for
drink.
the opportunity.
Good, everybody. Great job.
All right.
Thank you all.
I'll just throw this out there. If any of you are interested, I'm going to be in downtown Miami. Plan on going to one of the bars here. If you guys want to hang out. If not, that's cool. I'm going to be at Over Under. But if not, then until next time, take care.